All right. Okay, everyone. Let's just settle into our meditation position. So just trying to center yourself after your day. We're coming to the end of our week. So just check in with yourself and just know that however it is you're showing up this evening, it's completely fine. Take a nice deep breath, and as you settle in, feet, if you are sitting at your desk, feet flat on the floor. And Sheil saying hi. Hi, Sheil. And knees are hips width apart. Sit on top of your sits bones. Make sure you're right on top of them. Shoulders are aligned with the hips, and just lengthen that spine. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So really try and lengthen. And just bring your attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, back of the head, the ears, the temples, the jaw, back of the neck. Allow the shoulders and the shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And then just bring the mind to the breath and just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. So you may notice those sensations at the entrance of the nostrils, the base of the nose, or a little higher up, the tip of the nose. Depends on the shape of your nose and if you've had any training in Vipassana tradition. They will often instruct the base of the nose. And then some people might like to feel the sensation of the breath by the rising and the falling of the chest or the rising and the falling of the belly. So just choose one that works for you. Try not to do more than one. And then just notice if there are any sounds in your environment. So it's getting a little darker a little earlier when the crickets have just started to come out. And just allow those sounds to be there. And then notice what's arising in your mind. And guarantee it's different than it was yesterday. Your mood could be different based on your interactions during the day. So just notice the thoughts that are arising and just allow those thoughts to be there. Again, trying not to follow them or follow the story or ruminate. Just allow them to kind of bubble up. You can categorize them as we've been doing. It just becomes like a sorting house. And then you can just put some of those thoughts on a cloud or lotus and just allow it to float off. And then just come to the bank of your river. And then just notice the quality of the water. Is it flowing slowly this evening? A little faster? Is the water clear? And then just know that while you're sitting on the bank, you're free from that river. So bring to mind now all the people of your life. So these are the ones you love, your spouses and children, your best friends. And then there's ones we don't get on with so well, and then there's our strangers. And remember, they can all change place at any time. And think we'll do this meditation this evening for the benefit of all these people of our life. And think again, particularly of these folks on Maui. I saw a video last night of an arborist who has been called in to look at the banyan tree. And he says there's flesh there, it's alive, but burned. So that right now they're pouring lots and lots of water on it. He said there's a lot of burnt leaves, so they're leaving those. He said they'll protect it, they'll act like an umbrella. And then they're sort of pouring water onto it, and then they're going to put some compost there and wait while the tree heals. And this is a beacon of hope for the folks, for everyone really who's watching. So just send your thoughts, your love and care to these people who are just really suffering right now. And then so many pets also burned, all these animals. I think we'll do this practice this evening and dedicate for all these people. And also for the island of Maui, because, there's been mixed messages on social media. Don't come, we need privacy. And then, of course, there's parts of the island that do need tourism. So they're calling, come, but be respectful. So they've also noticed a downturn in visitors. So there's financial concern there as well. So if Hawaii is a place where you've gone to in your life and enjoyed and loved, then send some thoughts there. And our neighbors are banging, so I hope that's not disturbing you. So start by thinking there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we're creating negativity with our mind. So we're also be able to create positivity instead. And we do have the power. We're the ones with the control here. So we just need to remember that and realize that and just take it, own that power. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. We know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So but logically, it makes sense. We would pull out those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And think then, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We rely upon, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not particularly wanting or needing or asking Buddha to forgive us. We're not seeing this Buddha as a higher power. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine, his methods. So you can imagine our Vajrasattva here. I think he's almost here. There he is. on the crown of your head. So not this exact image, but something similar, made of light, not paint. Three-dimensional, like a hologram on the crown of your head, but radiating light and energy, positive energy, healing energy. And you can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion, has a beautiful radiant face, and he's looking at you with compassionate, kind eyes, you and all those people of your life, even the ones you don't like and the ones you don't know. Equally loving everyone. He's got a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot, and he's adorned with jewels. So you can imagine they're all glinting and glistening. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So this is why this is the B section of reliance, refuge, and developing compassion. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing a wish for them to be free from suffering. So think particularly of someone you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings you've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Miboa, Sitokaya Miboa, Sipokaya Miboa, Anarakta Miboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body is completely purified. And think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And the next is a purification of your speech. And Vajrasattva very happily, again, sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and the lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, even yourself. So next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So again, the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch, the light in the room instantly dispels the darkness. So it's imagine the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and then instantly all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, attachment, depression, grasping, neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled. Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is a purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So just imagine how your life would look if this was actually the case. But really try and act as if. Imagine how it would be. Just for a moment. Completely free of all delusion. So now is the power of resolve, and it's a really crucial step, this decision we make to not harm with our body, our speech, and our mind. At the very least, to try and think about refraining from harming. You know that ant that's crawling across your picnic blanket? Maybe just take it off before you accidentally sit on it. So it's like you're on the lookout for tiny little creatures, rather than being annoyed by them when they turn up and swatting them away, which is generally our sort of just spontaneous response. So think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. Rejoice in your efforts and your progress. And this determination to not do again is what gives us, courage to change. And imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with you, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you. And you can think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on emptiness. So he would start with like this. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just try and place your mind there for a little moment. Just things are dependently arising. This depends on that, causes and conditions. We can think that perhaps the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the positive energy we've created this evening doing this purification to all living beings, particularly all the beings on Maui Island and perhaps the whole of Hawaii, and think, may all this virtuous karma I've created from doing this karma, this practice, ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then, of course, for all of you who, if I could have gallery view, please, Michael, or whoever. For all of you who have His Holiness, that was a nice picture of His Holiness, I love that one. For all of you who have His Holiness as a teacher, most of us in this tradition do, so just wish for him to have a long, long life, and for any of your own personal teachers, and the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation. Okay, thank you, everybody.